The water pressure crushed my chest like a dead man's hand. 16,000 meters beneath the surface of VERITH 9, my helmet lights started flickering. 4% battery. Around me was perfect darkness, the kind that light had never touched since this planet was born. I heard my own breathing echoing inside my diving helmet, and another sound. Deeper, slower, like the heartbeat of something sleeping below. 2 months of full burn from Corveth Station. They called it a standard extraction mission, but this planet was never standard. Hundreds of divers, technicians, mercenaries, and debtors, all crammed into a floating station in the middle of an ocean with no shore. Same old story. The price of coral essence had tripled in a single cycle. The Solari order on the inner ring was still buying by the barrel, war or no war. They used it for life extension rituals, injected it into their veins like holy blood. So extraction crews kept going further out, diving deeper, risking more. Who knows what they saw in me? I'm not the kind to amount to much. Maybe that was the point. The first dive was deep coral. Hazard crew, double credit. I took the job. Ever set foot on a new planet, breathe air no one has breathed before? You'd think it changes you, cracks open your mind, rewires your hardware. But we were in it for the money. Nobody touches the edge of the abyss just for credit. A new identity, a new reason, a new friend. But an ocean can't keep a promise. It's just water, billions of tons of freezing water. But the coral on VERITH 9 wasn't normal coral, not the kind you'd find in any textbook. They rose like towers, glowing faintly in the dark with a pale blue light without a source, as if they were dreaming and the dreams were spilling out. They had an order, a presence. They hummed when we approached, like they were listening, like they already knew what we were going to do. I wondered, with lifespans measured in millions of years, with that kind of power, why didn't they stop us? Maybe knowing was judgment enough. Unlike the other divers in my crew, I'd read the brief. Venomous jellyfish, undercurrents that could tear your suit apart, methane pockets that ignited without warning, a dozen ways to die, and even more to kill. But when the order came, we drove our pumps into the ancient coral and drained them dry. The coral essence flowed out thick and luminous, glowing blue inside the tubes, 30 degrees warmer than the surrounding water, as if it was still alive. A few weeks in, a hunger spread through the station. Not rations, though those ran short enough. No, a different kind of hunger. The kind you only feel when you're far from your home planet. The closer you get to the edge of the abyss, the more you want to taste it. You can't blame a man for madness, can you? It's in our nature, I think, to try things, to explore. The sane don't build spaceships. The sane don't get to see what we see. But maybe that's the problem. Never should have looked down into the deep in the first place. They left the station at night, one by one, helmet lights off, slipping into the dark like they were going home. Few came back. The ones who did, their eyes were different. Pupils blown wide, a faint blue shimmer behind them, as if the coral had planted something inside. Nothing like it, they'd say, not a word to describe. Didn't matter, soon the hunger had me too, had to taste the madness for myself. Don't know how long I swam, hours, maybe days. The coral talked to me, whispered secrets, invited me to stop and drink, but none of them were right. I kept swimming until I saw it. Her. Not a reef, an entity. Tall as a mountain, every branch a nervous system, every pore an eye. She glowed with a light I had never seen. Not blue, not white, a color the human brain had no name for. The coral essence touched my lips. The world went black. I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't me, but I was somewhere, something. A spore in the palm of a stranger, a spark of life for a dead moon,
I stretched my nerve roots across continents, across lifetimes, until barren rock became paradise, until the humans arrived and forgot that a debt was owed. They worshipped their own gods. I watched and grew. My roots threaded through the foundations of their cities. My branches climbed their tallest towers. My neural network ran beneath every road, every wall, every sleeping body. I kept the planet alive, filtered the air, regulated the tides, kept the core warm enough to sustain life. And while they rested on my achievement, I took back what was rightfully mine. Slowly, patiently, roots strangled water pipes, spores crept into ventilation systems, pollen carrying ancient memories coated every surface, and humans began dreaming dreams that weren't their own. Their fires burned hot on my skin. Their bombs tore my body limb from limb. But in their haste to destroy me, they destroyed the very ecosystem keeping them alive. Oceans rose, air turned toxic, the planet's core cooled. The humans weren't killed by me, the humans killed themselves. I was reborn from every fragment. Every severed branch grew into a new forest. Every burned spore drifted on the wind to the next continent. That was the thing they never understood. You cannot destroy what has already become the planet itself. I woke up, helmet full of tears, hands shaking. The salt of the ocean and the sweetness of the essence mixed together on my tongue. I didn't know how long I'd been lying there, oxygen tank nearly empty, helmet light dead for hours. But I could see in the dark, pale blue light, not from the coral, from me. My skin was glowing. The veins beneath my wrists pulsed with light. Not my heartbeat, her heartbeat. I could sense the reef 20 kilometers away, as if her nerve roots had wired themselves directly into my central nervous system. I could hear their whispers, not language, but pure sensation, pain, longing, rage, and something older than memory itself. The way back was gone, not because the station had disappeared, but because I was no longer something that could survive above water. 2 months of full burn back to Corveth Station. I sat in the darkest compartment of the transport ship, avoiding the lights. Every day I took a drop, just one drop of essence hidden in a vial under my bunk, and every drop was a lifetime. Thousands of lifetimes lived, thousands more to come. I lived each one completely, born, grew, took root, covered a planet, was burned, reborn, covered it again, a loop with no end. The crew thought I had lost my mind. Maybe they were right, but a madman doesn't know he's mad. I knew exactly what I was. I wasn't a diver anymore. I was a seed. The spores were already in my lungs, in my blood, in every skin cell glowing beneath my heavy coat. When I reached Corveth, if I reached Corveth, I would breathe, and the spores would fly, and the roots would take hold, and the ocean would begin to sing on a new planet. She didn't imprison me. She didn't need to. She just needed me to want to go home. Don't know when we'll get there, but I'll be rich when I arrive, rich beyond measure. At least that's what I tell myself every night when the drop touches my lips and the world goes black again, and I'm a spore again, and the spore becomes a planet. Maybe I never left the bottom of VERITH 9's ocean. Maybe I'm still lying there, mouth pressed against the coral, eyes open, but seeing nothing except pale blue light, and everything I called going home is just a dream she's letting me borrow. A dream just long enough that I never want to wake up.